Welcome back. A couple from Ohio is facing child neglect charges in a very bizarre case here. Their daughter, just 23 days old, died in their car during a long road trip. Police say the problem was heat exposure. Christopher and Angela Randolph, seen here, were driving from Ohio to Oklahoma when the baby died. Cops say the car was packed with their stuff, had no AC, and only one window rolled down. About 16 hours into the trip, just 30 minutes from where they were going, the Randolphs stopped at a convenience store and saw that the baby was not breathing. The temperature outside was around 100 degrees. Police arrested the couple. They also had a 15-month-old baby with them who's now with a relative. Police say the heat was a contributing factor here, but they're still waiting to hear from the medical examiner. Just sad all around. And this raises questions about how this family was traveling. I want to bring in Dr. Tony Woodward, medical director of Seattle Children's Hospital Emergency Medicine. Doctor, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we hear about infants dying, sadly, when they're left in a hot car. It does happen. But in this case, the car was moving and the parents were there in the car. How common is this, that a newborn is in the car with the parents and dies because of the heat?
You know, I think this is a very unique and unusual situation, but the issues behind that are pretty similar to other ones. When kids die in the back of the cars, and there's 30 to 50 of those per year, it usually happens when they're in an environment that's generating heat and it doesn't have any circulation. And it sounds, from the limited information that I've seen, that this person was in the back seat of a car with really no circulation on a very hot day. And we know that in 10 minutes, the back of this car can go up at least 20 degrees. So if you think that the ambient temperature outside was 100 degrees, in 10 or 15 minutes of that environment, it could be 115 or 120
And doctor,
degrees.
just 23 days old this baby was. Is that because a baby cannot regulate the heat of the body? If this child was, let's say, 3 years old, would it have been a similar outcome?
Probably not. A 3-year-old could probably tell you they're having a problem. A young child can't tell you. They have a very big body surface area, so they generate heat 3 to 5 times faster than we do as adults. And they don't sweat very well, so they can't get rid of that heat. So they just basically absorb it, and that's where we have the problems.
And we have a car seat here on set for babies. I have one myself for my 3-year-old. They're insulated. They keep the baby warm when it is cold outside. What do you recommend, doctor, to keep your child safe on a long summer road trip? Number one, would it be if your air conditioning's broke, do not take the trip?
Well, I think you just need to use vigilance and check on everybody in the car periodically. If you're the only driver, that's really hard. You're going to have to stop every 30 or 40 minutes to make sure. But I think ensuring, as you said, you have adequate air conditioning, or if you don't have air conditioning, you have adequate ventilation. If the air is circulating and the air is moving, you're not going to have a problem. You won't get higher than the outside temperature. It's when that air stops moving that you really have a risk.
When I'm driving with my daughter, and it is hot here, it is in Atlanta, I always reach back to the vent to see if it's circulating, because it can be a lot hotter in the back seat for a child. Isn't that right?
Well, it's really important. What you've mentioned is if something's blocking those vents, or there are no vents in the back seat, you need to make sure that airflow from the air conditioner or the fan is actually making it back to your child in the back.
All right, Dr. Woodward, thank you. A sad case and some great tips for us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.